I did prepare some remarks, and I'm going to have to read them. Please forgive me. But I do want to thank the invitation to participate in this panel today. I was asked by Carl to explain why I'm advocating for immigration reform. And I can sum it up in 3 words: the common good. I know that some suggest punishment as the only answer to undocumented immigration. Or some say no to pathway to citizenship if undocumented immigrants are allowed to stay. Let me read a letter from that I wrote to Cincinnati Enquirer that appeared about a few weeks ago. And I say this: think about the news videos of multitudes of people corralled by INS, ICE agents, then herded into buses, trains, and airplanes to be transported to their countries of origin. Is that what America looks like? Haven't we learned anything from the civil rights and human rights struggles of minority communities in this country, especially the African American community? When large segments of our population are treated as an underclass without the dignity of equality and hopeful future, it does not bless America. It's been said that those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. To me, comprehensive immigration reform is the only answer, and it has to come right now. What America looks like to me is a country ever seeking the common good for the people living in our land. We in the faith community, and I am a pastor at the Vineyard Community Church of Lijoi County, we in the faith community see it as our mission to aid documented immigrants as well as those that are undocumented who are living in the shadows. Ironically, Judaism, Islam, and Christianity all have in their tradition accounts about Abraham, who became a sojourner or an immigrant by direction of God. We see him as a man of faith traveling in unfamiliar land and depending on God to protect him and those who followed after him. In all the stories I learned about Abraham, one of the common threads in them was that God favors people that favor Abraham, his sojourner, and oppose those that opposed him. I believe God cares about how we treat immigrants. And what God requires us to do is to do justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with our God. That's found in Micah chapter 6, verse 8. The United States Senate passed a common sense immigration bill that would strengthen border security, crack down on employers who hire undocumented workers, streamline the legal immigration system, and create an earned pathway to citizenship. In the midst of a rather toxic political environment, and we all know about that, we can just listen to the news, what the Senate achieved was quite remarkable. The Senate reasoned together, found common ground for the common good, and by greater than a 2-to-1 majority voted for comprehensive immigration reform. The Congressional Budget Office, that's the office that scores various pieces of legislation, they confirmed that the Senate's bill would grow our economy, create new jobs, reduce our deficit by nearly $1 trillion over the next 2 decades, while adding another 5.4% to the country's GDP, gross domestic product. In a letter on May 8th, the Social Security actuary, that's the bean counter in Social Security, stated that the bipartisan Senate immigration bill will strengthen the solvency of the Social Security Trust Fund by reforming and streamlining the legal immigration system and increasing by millions the number of currently undocumented workers who will be paying payroll taxes. Because most immigrants are young, the effect of these younger immigrant workers paying into Social Security improves the worker to retiree ratio as baby boomers like me retire, thus strengthening the life of Social Security. In the Senate bill, if the Senate bill was a law today, a report from the Center for American Progress estimates that the following benefits for the next 10 years accrue to Ohio. Where we live, or most of us live in Kentucky. But listen to this. a $7.6 billion increase in Ohio's gross state product, a $4.6 billion increase in the earnings of Ohio residents, that's money in my pocket, your pocket, and the creation of over $1,100 annually. Furthermore, undocumented immigrants themselves will experience significant gains in income, and they'll pay additional $114 million in state and local taxes, and that would help our tax base. All these benefits are projected to occur when the millions of undocumented immigrants are free to come out of the shadows and openly participate in our economy as income earners, taxpayers, and consumers. However, these projected positive outcomes of immigration reform will not manifest themselves if undocumented immigrants stay in the shadows in fear of their families being torn apart and in fear of being exploited by those who leverage the predicament of their undocumented status against them because they don't have the protection of law. And that's been happening a lot. I think comprehensive immigration reform, as styled by the Senate, actually presents us with a win-win situation because it was the work of sincere men and women seeking the common good, finding common ground. I pray that the House of Representatives will not reject